Hello, fellow sleep-deprived people. Do you all know about the scary monster that you have to pay every night? Goes by many different names. The Nightmare, the Sleep Paralysis Demon, the Boogeyman. Let me just ask this question, and I want Pollock to pause this for some answers. How many hours of sleep did everyone get last night? Now I want you guys to think of the Boogeyman as a guy you have to pay every night, and you pay him by the amount of sleep you get. If you don't go to sleep at a good time, you go in debt. Look at the amount of hours of sleep you get as currency. Now, 9 hours is the minimum you need to pay every night, or it might be different for you, but the average teen needs 9 hours of sleep. And when you don't get those 9 hours of sleep, you go into sleep debt and start to get fatigued, and will start to take toll on your mental health. In the article, Sleep and Its Effects on Employees' Health in the Workplace by Irby states, quote, "During sleep, the human brain actively restores itself and repairs the body. So, with little or no sleep and therefore little to no restoration of the brain, the human body cannot function properly." End quote. When you don't pay the Boogeyman 9 hours, he starts to say, okay, well, now you get to think badly about yourself. And the more in debt you are to the Boogeyman, the worse you are to yourself, and the worse your mental state becomes. Sleep debt doesn't just make you tired, it affects your whole functionality. Both your mind and body take a punch. That morning grouchiness can go from just being in the morning because you're in a bed like this, to being all day because you didn't get enough sleep to pay the debt collector. Sleep debt means that you need more sleep than usual. You have to get back the hours you missed, or if you missed like 4 hours of sleep, you'll need to sleep overtime. That's probably not going to happen in one night. American school system sucks, and let me tell you why. We as teens who don't get enough sleep are forced to wake up at 7 a.m. or earlier, depending on how far away from the school you live. This sucks, because at the level of sleep deprivation teens are at in this day and age, they're not going to process or remember most of the shit thrown at them because their brain is too tired / fatigued, unless they get good enough sleep. The solution to this problem would be have school start at 9 or 10 a.m. And then the other solution that we can actually do ourselves is to go to sleep at a good time, being 10 p.m. at the latest. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. We're probably going to bed at like 12 a.m. and maybe some of us going to bed at 4 a.m., which used to be me, but I fixed my sleep schedule. This way, if we go to bed at 10 p.m., we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep. The exact amount of sleep we need to function properly as teens. This means if we want to get over that 4 hours of sleep that I talked about earlier, you don't go to bed at 6 p.m. You're not going to do that. No one is going to do that. I guarantee that no one in this room would ever do that. Go to bed at 6 p.m. unless they're like sick or like just are generally tired. But no one's going to do that to get over sleep debt, and no one's going to do that to just fix their sleep schedule. Sleep not only affects your mental state, but also affects your physical body. Being too sleepy behind the wheel of a car can also be an issue. In this article, it says, quote, "This isn't a particularly healthy way to live. Insufficient sleep is associated with obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, and a host of other physical ailments. Drowsy driving causes around 80,000 car accidents every year in the US, 1,000 of which are typically fatal." End quote. You go to bed 1 hour before your usual bedtime, so in this case 9. But you might say, well, that doesn't cover the debt. Yeah, I agree, it doesn't cover the debt. But in this scenario, if we're gonna go to bed at 10 every night, if we are in debt by 4 hours, what if we go to bed at 9 for 4 nights? That is 4 hours of sleep that we just gained back. Your sleep debt is paid off. The boogeyman will leave you alone. Until you mess up your sleep schedule again. Because we, as teens, do that. So in summary, sleep is pretty cool. And hear me out on this. Let me cook. 1. Your bed might suck, but that doesn't matter. No matter how comfortable or uncomfortable your bed is, it goes from this to this.
Bet they won't have. Wow, they have it!
The most uncomfortable, body-bending, bone-breaking, can't go to sleep, I'm-a-star vaping, scoliosis-inducing, cinder block, hormone underproducing, that's not a boulder, it's a rock, piece of shit to the most heavenly bed ever made, and that makes it impossible to get out of. Doesn't matter how uncomfortable it is. You're gonna wake up and that bed is gonna be so heavenly. It is gonna feel like the best bed on the planet, and it is gonna be almost impossible to get out because of your sleep debt. The teenage sleep schedule is garbage, and the school system is garbage for making us wake up at 7 a.m. 2. You get to dream. This is just a nice bonus on top of getting good sleep.
Shoot, that was my last quarter.
3, and most of all, just to sum it up, your mental health skyrockets. It is essential if you want to keep yourself safe now and give yourself some oxygen, an ozone layer that's covered up so we can breathe in this blue trapped bubble. Go to sleep at a good time. Do it. And that's it. That's my presentation. Thank you for watching.